Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here tonight with Tyler Wolkowitz and a few other members of the FCAT crew, Cole Melnick, Kevin Murphy, and Connor Mabius.
3 more people.
Still looking for people with the chain gang down here.
And it is the first game of the Red Hawks football season. We just covered their first field hockey game a few days ago. And this is a big one, folks. Rematch of their opening game from last season against the Lunenburg Blue Knights. That team's from out east, right by Leominster, if you know where that is. The Blue Knights, last time that they faced the Red Hawks, beat them 32-6. Rough start to their season last year, and they're hoping to have something a little bit happier for this season, where they are coming into it with 7 seniors gone, including their starting quarterback and star wide receiver Ian Burt and Aiden Dredge. Now, Aiden Dredge's little brother and the son of the coach, Scott Dredge, is playing quarterback this year. He's stepping up big time. Garrett Dredge, number 2 on the field tonight. He will be a big player to watch, Tyler.
Yes, he will, Mason. I've been lucky enough to see him play a little bit in practice. I've been very prominent and very happy about seeing that. It's really looking good. He looks just like Aiden out there. It's really good to see. Yeah,
it's fantastic. We've heard some good scouting reports from Tyler and some other people on the team. Good news about the offense just being relatively successful and aggressive, and that's what we love to see. The defense has been a little wavering though, so we're gonna have to. That's gonna be something we're gonna watch for, and we'll see how they come into the game. Right now, they're meeting in the middle of the field to decide where they are starting with the coin toss.
Yep. Oh yeah, Lunenburg is a really big opponent. I mean, like you said, last year was a devastating loss, but that's only part of the story. Ready, the Red Hawks are getting the ball. But yeah, as I was saying, everyone traveled down there to that very far distance on Friday. However, we only got to play the first half, and it got stormed out. So the whole team had to go back there on Saturday and then get that loss. Yeah,
unfortunately, I remember that all too well. Not the loss. We didn't go back for that one, you and I. But
no.
Like we said, hopefully the Hawks can have a happier start to their season this time around. But you said Lunenburg, big opponent physically and also in terms of their roster.
Absolutely. They are much larger than we are.
One of the captains of the Hawks on the sideline, number 10, Caden James, getting the team hyped up after the national anthem there. James, who actually has his younger brother playing on the team as well, Connor James. He's a senior this year, captain, and he also just switched positions, Tyler. He's now playing from running back. Instead, he's playing as a fullback.
Very good switch right there. Over the summer, he built up to 220, I've heard reports say. This is really, oh wow. And really to build for him.
I don't know about anyone else, but I mean, that's exciting news for me. I love seeing a fullback in formation behind the quarterback, and it's just fun to watch. That's old school football. So now, with the kickoff being prepped right in front of us, the sun is set just in time here in South Deerfield. It's a nice little 70 degrees, cold enough for a fall day, first day of the season. It's supposed to drop around 5 degrees by the time this game is over. And we've got plenty of fans here for the Hawks, good turnout, plenty of people. The theme tonight is jerseys, and we're seeing plenty of people keeping that in mind. And also, we might mention, we got a crowd for Lunenburg coming all the way out here.
Yeah, we do. These fans are really determined. This town, even the whole town, all their sports are very good, and it's going to be a good game here.
Absolutely. That's how they are out east, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Also
And
got
so,
our very own band as well, playing for the home game.
And we are underway. Kick down the field, caught on the 10-yard line, received by the quarterback, Garrett Dredge, and he's going to run it out at the 30, 20-yard run back.
First and 10 for the Red Hawks.
Right into his dad, the coach, Mr. Scott Dredge. Here we go. Coordinate play. Now he knows what to run right away. Get the plan.
And this is a great starting position for them, you know. And I don't know about you, Tyler, but I watched the starting game for the NFL last night, and I've got my head in the gutter with, you know, the new kickoff rules. That's just, I mean, we could talk on and on about that, but thankfully we don't have to worry about that for high school football. John Rouleau is going to be our center for this season. He lines up over the ball. We got the fullback information. Dredge takes the snap, hands it off to Brady Pareda. Spin move, and he hits the open ground and is brought down. Ball comes out.
Was that before or after the whistle?
It looked like it was after.
On the stop.
Either way, it was covered up by the Hawks. Slow to get up is Pareda. Pretty shaken up, and looks like he might have taken a hit to his ankle.
Yeah. He hobbles off on the edge. However, that was a really great run. Seems the fumble was after the call, after the whistle, so still a possession.
And so the Hawks will have second and 1.
First and 10 from the Hawk 40-yard line.
Excuse me, first and 10.
It's a fantastic run. Plenty of space to go ahead. All right, the second play.
Similar formation, we got receivers only on the near side of the field now. 2 backs behind Dredge. He takes the handoff.
Fumble on the play.
Oh no, I was fooled by the fake.
Yeah.
He faked the handoff, kept himself, and went down fast.
Loss of a yard.
Luckily, he fell on top of it and maintained possession. That was good. Still able to hold it.
And now the Hawks lose a yard on that play.
Right.
So now we'll have second and 11 from the 39.
Still a lot of space to work with.
Still waiting to see our first passing play. That was a area of, you know, not very a strong place for the Hawks last year, and a loose ball again.
Wow.
That time coming out of the hands of Ben Karen.
Yeah, a lot of balls being dropped so far. They really got to hold on to it.
3rd and 16 for the Red Hawks.
That's 3rd and 16 from the 34, it looks like.
Yes, it is. All right, still in the huddle.
Hawks taking their time in the huddle. This is a long 3rd down conversion.
It really is, and it's very important and crucial that they take this time so they don't drop the ball again.
Especially if we're looking at a passing play here, and we got out on the wing Carter Robinson. He's a dual tight end and wide receiver player. And it looks like we're running play action here. The pass. Oh, and it's caught. What a diving play from Ben Karen. It's ruled incomplete.
Whoa.
Red Hawks ball, 4th down.
Oh, wow. Was not expecting that.
4th and 16. Incomplete pass
4th and 16.
Wow.
for the Red
ruled.
Hawks.
It's like a Patrick Mahomes throw. It was on the fly.
I mean,
sidearm. Yeah,
great
well,
placement from
yeah.
Dredge,
Absolutely.
honestly.
Absolutely.
But now we're looking at a 4th and long. And, I mean, I'd expect them to bring out the punter on this case, who we don't know who the punter is, as a matter of fact.
Right. Got some
Caden
switch
James
ups
to
in the
punt
lineup.
for the Red Hawks.
And it'll be Caden James.
Here we go. He has
Colin
got a
Toomey
leg.
back for the Blue Knights.
Absolutely. We saw some of it last year.
Boom.
And he puts a nice arc on that one. Fair catch called at the 32 of Lunenburg.
Lunenburg takes over 1st and 10 from the Lunenburg 30-yard 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was absolutely a good call. I mean, taking the fair catch there was definitely the right choice. You know, one of the players very far ahead.
Absolutely.
Taking it down right away.
This is a good distance kick, too. And now Frontier with their first rotation on defense, coming up with nothing on that first offensive possession. And now one of the things that, as obviously with these smaller schools is a concern, is having your quarterback out on the field for defense. And there's Garrett Dredge out on the far side in pass coverage right now.
Certainly a risky move, but it might be needed.
Shotgun position is Agnesi. He's the quarterback for Lunenburg. Back to throw, and a little bit too far ahead of the receiver. It'll be dropped for an incomplete pass, no gain. Tough start. I mean,
right.
It's, I would say, you know, first game jitters or something like that. That very well could be what that was. We're talking about Agnesi. He's a junior, expected to have, you know, at least 1 year under his belt right now.
Yeah.
The situation with Garrett Dredge, of course, a little bit different, as his brother was the quarterback last year, and it was his senior year. So now,
I gotta say, he absolutely has an arm. Seeing him in practice, being able to throw it 30 to 40 yards.
yeah, and we're excited to see it. Just waiting for the right time for the coach to call up the right play.
Absolutely.
Handoff,
Nice.
given for the Blue Knights, and wrapped up and brought down by Caden James. Textbook tackle right there.
It's beautiful. He found the hole, but luckily Caden James was there to stop it.
Caden James.
That'll be a gain of maybe 6 or so.
About.
5 or 6, I'd say. So we're looking at a third down.
All right, Lunenburg still not as just as lucky as Frontier so far. First game jitters, like you said, could be.
Absolutely, but at the same time, you know, it could just be a matter of time before this team comes into their own and starts marching down the field. Maybe it'll start here. Nothing can be taken for granted. Motion along the line of scrimmage for Lunenburg. Agnesi in shotgun, readying the pass. Here comes Cabrera, Javian Cabrera. The throw down the field is caught for the first down. Past midfield. And a great catch.
And fantastic find by the quarterback. Absolutely the right move. All the other cornerbacks were closer on their man, but luckily a little bit of space.
And that was Zivajinovic, who was on the grab there for Lunenburg. And now they'll have 1st and 10 from Frontier's 45. They are the first team to get across midfield and into the other team's territory tonight, Tyler.
Yes, they are. They're making their way down. It's very possible that this trend will continue. They've always had a very strong offense.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw it last year. 32-6 was the score again. Handoff. Gets a nice hole and some blocking. Pareda's there, and going to bring him down is number 9. That's Connor James, the freshman.
Yeah, their running back there just found the perfect opportunity. Nobody was able to go on the left side. Made it super far down.
First down.
Until he had nowhere.
First and goal for the Blue Knights.
That was, if I'm doing my calculations in my head right, Tyler, I think that was a 38-yard run right there.
Yes,
from the 45 down to about the 7, it looks like.
Very impressive in no time flat.
Oh, absolutely.
Very fast.
We're closing in on 8 minutes to go in this first quarter. Lunenburg in the red zone. Shotgun formation.
Yep.
Receivers on either side of Agnesi. Handoff again, and wrapped up, still up, and finally brought down by hit by Pareda. James comes up with the ball, but they're not going to give it to him.
Yeah, it was a grapple while standing up for a long time, so they can't really give it to them. But still very impressive. Got him down.
Held him to no gain. I mean, that's in the red zone. That's huge.
That's what counts. Alrighty. Not much to go.
And still placing the ball. Looks like no gain there. Yeah, ball pretty much where it was in the previous play. And on those running plays has been the senior Gamboris, Dylan Gamboris, who has been in the shotgun position for a few times now. Now they're switching it up, it looks like. Next to Agnesi is Augusti. Receivers out wide. Handoff. He goes to the far side. And a great open field tackle. Look at that. Garrett Dredge making a great defensive play for a loss by the looks of it.
Yes, it is. Augusti tried to go wide, and Garrett Dredge just cut him down. Just him across the center gate. Beautiful.
That's a loss of 5 right there.
Wow. 10-yard line.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go for a pass play there. They just brought in a tight end to line up on the line.
I mean, evidently enough, they feel confident with their run game, Tyler.
Right.
But now they're looking at a 3rd and long for a touchdown here. And if they don't make it here, we'll have a little discussion about whether or not it's a good idea to go for the field goal.
Wide receiver being lined up very far left.
And timeout is going to be taken by Lunenburg. Especially with the Frontier Band getting everyone hyped up. We got to see some more energy from the student section. We say it every year, but we've got a packed house right now, and the band is pumping it. You know, they've got some new, I was talking to a few of the kids in the band. They've got some new songs that they've been practicing, and, you know, we need to see some energy reciprocated on the other side of the bleachers right now.
The students should have new cheers. I mean, come on.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't have, before, last year, we had Aiden Bird out on the field, but at the basketball games, he was leading the chants. You know, we don't have someone in there right now, and we got to find someone. Water break on the field for the Hawks. Well, Lunenburg sketches up a game plan for this 3rd and goal from the 10.
Crucial play. It might not always seem it this early in the game, but it really is. It really is, especially in high school.
The first score can mean a lot, especially mentally, Tyler.
Absolutely.
And now we're looking at pretty much the same formation. We might have an extra receiver on the near side of the field.
Yep. You know, it makes me think it's going to be a pass.
Shotgun position is Augusti. Agnesi back to throw. You called it, Tyler.
Yep.
And here comes Colin West. Agnesi escapes the sack. Cabrera there. Throw, corner of the end zone, and it's dropped.
Wow. That almost would have been toe drag swag.
Agnesi's pass.
What a beautiful effort from Agnesi. Eli Manning stuff right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Rory Ferguson incomplete.
Right.
Leads the Blue Knights with a 4th and goal from the 10-yard line.
And Agnesi going to the sideline. Looks like we are going to see a field goal attempt. This is rare for a high school football, Tyler.
It really is.
And, you know, last year we had Brady Pareda, who is on the roster tonight as a running back. Last year as a sophomore, he was kicking our field goals. It was pretty good. So we'll see if this will go in and if Frontier will end up having a field goal attempt later in the game. To kick is McKenna. Snap and hold is good. Kick is drilled, and it's good.
Kick is
That was a
good.
rocket. He could easily
Field
make
goal by
it.
Liam McKenna.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
More of a line drive than I think, you know, you might want to see for an NFL prospect, but, you know.
Certainly. Oh my God.
Now, McKenna, only a sophomore. He typically, on the offense, is going to be playing tight end. So, tight end kicking your field goals, that's a first for me.
Yeah. Wow, well, that's still very impressive. Gosh.
Yeah.
Good to see. All right, 3-0 Lunenburg. Second drive.
Lunenburg will strike first, yeah. And, I mean, I got to say, I'm not trying to be pessimistic at all. This was expected. You know, Lunenburg, especially with the record that they had against Frontier last year, expected, you know. And we'll keep going back to that and keep saying that. But, you know, what we're hoping for the Red Hawks tonight is a close game and hopefully a high scoring. We've heard some good things about their offense. They got shut down on that first drive. But, again, first game jitters. They're real. They have been. I mean, anyone out on the field can tell you that.
Exactly. There's no matter how many preseason games you do, it's always the
Absolutely.
first one in the real season that really gets you.
And especially, you know, if you didn't perform so well in your preseason. And let's take a moment to recognize some real spirit from Lunenburg. They brought their cheerleading squad out here, Tyler. I don't know if we have a camera on that or if you guys can see that at home, but this is, I mean, that's dedication right there. And now, there we go. This is what I'm talking about. Student section standing up. McKenna is our kicker. Caden James nodding his head. He likes that action over there. McKenna the line drive over to the right side. It's going to be fielded at the 20 by Pareda again. He's got a few blockers, and he finds a hole. Pareda at the 45. Flag is down. He's still going, and he's brought down at Lunenburg's 43.
2 to 3 flags out there.
It might be coming back. We might be doing this again. But what a run from Brady Pareda.
That was absolutely explosive coming out of the left side. It's amazing. Right side, excuse me.
Well, let's wait and see what the refs call here. It was on the side that Pareda was running on, so.
Yeah, absolutely. That could have been that could have been a lot of things. You never know. Never know. It could be offense, defense.
Yeah, it really could be anything.
Yeah.
Holding, and that's going to be called on the Red Hawks.
Yeah.
And then personal foul. It looks like we're going to get offsetting fouls.
We have 2 penalties on the play.
Wow.
Holding on the Red Hawks, a horse collar on the Blue Knights.
Yeah, horse collar tackle. That was on Pareda.
Yep.
I was going to mention that looked a little rough.
Brought him down backwards. It's crazy. All right. Bring him back to the side. Yeah, going again.
And, yeah, they will do it again. Unfortunate for Pareda, that right there was a 37-yard run back. Yeah. I mean, crazy stuff right there. You thought for a moment he might be taking it to the house.
Kickoff to Brady Pareda and Garrett Dredge.
Without a doubt. All right.
So now Pareda and Dredge are back to receive again. McKenna, once again, the kicker. And this is the traditional kickoff formation that we're used to. We're not seeing in the NFL anymore. And, you know, who knows if that's going to even stick around? You know, I haven't heard one person say that they really like it, so you never know. But here we go. Second time's the charm. McKenna with another bullet down the field, this time a little more up the gut. Pareda once again the receiver. Does he get some blocks this time? He'll take it to the right side again and spun down. Big tackle. Colin Toomey, the junior.
Toomey on the stop for the Blue Knights.
Yeah, that was
Red Hawk ball, first and 10.
Okay, so he ran by
from
really
the
quick, got
frontier,
through all the blockers
27-yard line.
and took him down way earlier than before.
Yeah.
It's a huge change.
I mean, great break for Lunenburg. Really tough luck for the Hawks. And that'll end up only being around a 12-yard run back still. Yep. You know, something's better than nothing, right?
Exactly. That's better if they just took it, too. Doing well.
And now, Hawks' second possession, and this is looking like a running play or some sort of fake. Everyone bunched around Dredge, and they'll just run it straight up the middle.
Oh my God.
Close to no gain there.
Looked like there might be a boa constrictor
by a host of Blue Knights.
His legs were just grabbed, and then he was brought down to the
Gain of maybe a yard, second and 9.
Wow.
And that's James' first time touching the ball on offense.
Yep.
That'll be second and 10. No gain on that play.
Alrighty. 5.5 minutes left.
We're looking at, I'd say like 27-yard line.
Yep.
The pitch back to Pareda. He's got a blocker in James in front of him. He takes it to the sideline and lays down a shoulder.
Right before the 40. Great run.
And oh boy, we got an injury on the field for the Hawks. Timeout will be called. That's the big man, Javian Cabrera. That is some bad news for the Hawks. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. That we have out on the field. And to have him, he's our left tackle. And, you know, that's on the blind side of the quarterback, right? That's on the blind side of Garrett Dredge. To have your best blocker there on offense protecting your quarterback like that is huge. It's huge. And, I mean, we've seen pressure get to Agnesi several times already in this game. Not once have we seen some chance for Garrett Dredge to be sacked.
Yeah, without Javian on the field, you never know. But we will see. We'll keep updates. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah,
see how it goes.
It's definitely going to be a big test for the Hawks, and this is not what they were hoping for or anticipating for this opening game.
Absolutely not.
Dredge takes the snap, the pitch back to Ben Karen, who gets slammed to the ground. My goodness.
Wow. Gosh, nowhere to go.
Jack Smith on the stop for the Blue Knights.
Yeah.
Gain of a yard.
He takes some time getting back on his feet. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him or something.
Yeah.
That'll be a gain of probably a yard. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, already seeing more hard hits. It's kind of intense. Blue Knight defense has been very, very strong.
And so now the Hawks with a 2nd and long. Karen, who just ran the ball, is now out as a receiver. Fullback in position. James takes it, and he's stopped cold, maybe a yard.
Yeah, tried to find room, a little bit of scratches on the outside of the field, but that worked. The D-line was able to stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, now we're looking at another 3rd and long. It was better than 3rd and 16 in their last possession.
Absolutely. The cheer team from Lunenburg traveling all the way here, making noise that we can even hear.
This is fantastic. This is the exact kind of school spirit we hope to see. Oh, yeah. Handoff again from Dredge. Pareto with it, and he gets brought down fast.
Again, going down the middle, getting stopped right away.
On the stop.
Very intense. It's 3rd down now.
Gain of a yard, 4th and 7 for the Red Hawks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oof.
So 3 plays and 3 yards gained. Hawks will look to punt it, probably.
Yeah.
Lunenburg has a receiver downfield already.
Just in case. It seems like they're talking a bit for punting, but we will see.
Could be all kinds of different strategy, and it looks like John Rouleau is coming off of the field, so likely whoever the long snapper is getting ready.
Yeah. On West.
No, that looks like James
Oh, yeah, there we go.
is the long snapper. And the punt coming out from the 30, beautifully done, will drop short of the receiver, and Garrett covers it up. Oh, and we got a bit of a scuffle over here, and a punch is thrown. Flag is not thrown.
Whoa.
And that was Connor James on that play. Meanwhile, an incredible punt.
Fantastic punt, man. Lunenburg just started walking off right to his able to pull down at around 22, 21.
I mean, I'm not sure how long that was in the air, but where it rolled to, that was a 50-yard punt. Did you catch who punted that, by the way?
I thought it was Colin, but I did not look at the number.
I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Now the Hawks back on defense. 80 yards to go for the Blue Knights. And the Hawks defense was able to put up a pretty good fight against them last possession.
Yes, they were. Now there's a lot of wide receivers.
4 receivers on the near side. No one to hand off to for Agnesi.
He's got a lot of space, a lot of blockers going outside.
And now he takes it along the sideline.
Yeah.
Only one guy he's got to beat, really. Cuts back inside and is brought down.
Nice.
Pass.
Wow.
Agnesi's pass.
That was an explosive run. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all the quarterbacks were stopped by their respective receivers while he had plenty of room to blast out on the outside. All the way past the 50, past the 40, somewhere around the 35.
On the 35, it looks like. And Frontier is going to take a very appropriate timeout after that. I mean, I just said 80 yards to go. And what did they do? They cut that basically in half. They go from their own 20 to Frontier's 35.
Yeah.
And now JV and Cabrera waving goodbye to the Hawks student section as he's being carted off. And we wish all the best to Cabrera. I hope I can see him in school on Monday. I have plenty of classes with him.
Absolutely.
And plenty of the fans just now realizing what's happening and that he's getting carted off. I mean, I've been covering sports here for the Red Hawks for a few years now, and that is the first time I've seen that happen for one of our players.
Javian is very strong. He will be able to do fine. I'm sure he'll recover fast and hopefully be in very soon.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the hope, really. I mean, we have a few injuries already for the Hawks that were coming into this game. The biggest one was Levi Pickert, who was one of their tight ends. He's out for the whole season, Tyler, with a broken collarbone he got in practice. But now back on the field, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, shotgun position, and Agnesi is back to throw. Here comes the pressure, and he throws it short of who was in shotgun, Gamboris. And talk about some good pressure there. Pocket just gone in a fraction of a second.
Yeah, he had nowhere to run. He almost had to ground the ball, but luckily he had a receiver somewhat nearby.
Yeah. If he had been able to lift that up a little higher, Gamboris would have been able to get something. Probably not get too far. He had a couple Hawks right behind him, but great awareness from Agnesi, not taking the sack. And that's what you need to do in those situations, right? You just, you make what you can of it, and if there's no one to throw to, you get it somewhere close, throw it out of bounds. Just don't take the loss of yardage.
He made the right decision.
And now we got the receivers swapped on either side. Motion in the backfield to the tight end position. Agnesi right behind the center, takes the snap, will hand it off to Gamboris, and he gets wrapped up right away, brought down by 2 Red Hawks, Caden James in there, as well as Brady Pareda. Excuse me, that was Colin West.
That was some certainly fancy O-line work there. They created one hole that looked obvious for the D-line to cover up, but it was really a secondary hole off to the left. And they were still
down 39 for
it's good to see.
Blue Knights.
And that was a gain of only 1. I mean, great job. Gamboris, we've seen he can be explosive when he gets an open hole, and the Hawks just closed it up immediately, brought him down with only a gain of a yard. Now a big 3rd and long for the Blue Knights from the Red Hawks 33. Receivers out for Agnesi. Shotgun position is Gamboris. Motion. That's the band screaming for the Hawks. And now West with the pressure on the blind side. The throw up the field comes up short.
You do not want to see somebody like Colin West chasing on your left side. Oh, my goodness.
And look at that. He's shaking his hands over at Agnesi. He's giving him the heebie-jeebies over there. Got him spooked. Running away like a horse. Now we got 4th and 8. Do they go for it? You're in your opponent's territory, so it's not necessarily good field position if you turn it over. It's a bit long for a field goal, but it's also a little bit short for a punt. You'd have to hit it sky high for it to land on, within the 10 or even within the 5.
So far, bro, they've been very successful with their passes, often getting the first down or a very big gain. So
yeah, when I was talking to Cabrera earlier in the game, or earlier before the game, he said he described Lunenburg as a pass-first offense, and that's what they're looking to do here. Pressure and a sack.
Nice.
Agnesi's brought down.
Nowhere to go. Look at that.
And look who it was. Connor James, the freshman.
Boom.
Max Hunter. Red Hawks take over. 1st and 10.
No 4th down.
Frontier, 33-yard line.
Frontier getting the ball.
38-yard line.
38-yard line.
Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Plenty of action we've seen so far, and now a new development on the sideline for the Hawks. Another potential injury, it seems. Brady Pareda is on the bench talking to the athletic trainer. But meanwhile, John Rouleau is lining up the snap for the Hawks. And a timeout is taken. Scott Dredge, not very happy by the looks of it. Could be some formation error. He's talking to his guy up top above us in the press box. Crescent Moon is out tonight, folks, and it is going to turn into a pretty one. Maybe a little bit cloudy, but still a nice, cozy fall night for an opening football game.
This is beautiful. One thing that not everyone knows, if they don't go to all the games, they watch our streams here, is it gets pretty cold sometimes in football.
Very cold.
And especially when you're sitting here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It can get, I mean, they might have actually heard it, as a matter of fact. Our teeth start to chatter sometimes, especially, and I'll say this, specifically with the boys' soccer games that we were covering last year. We're up higher, it gets windier up there, and they have a bit of a longer season typically. So, you're talking about some cold days, and that's when you really have to bundle up.
Absolutely. Well, looks like no weather is being able to fall through any team. But but so far.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what the rules are for playing in the snow for high school football. We see it in the NFL all the time, obviously, but I mean, maybe we'll get to see that this year. That would be a bit of a treat.
That'd be interesting. Certainly not for the players, but.
And now Dredge back to throw for the first time, lofting it down the field and a little bit too far for Carter Robinson. It lands out of bounds, and he was pretty well covered.
He was. Both of the receivers there in that area were kind of on lockdown.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room. That play would have made a little bit skewed to one side there.
Yeah.
Still being able to have a lot of safeties be able to come draw in and help the cornerbacks.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It would have taken a good cut inside for Robinson to make a lot out of that play, but it would have been a first down. Pareda walking around on the sideline right now. He looks to be in a bit better shape.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can see his return soon. A receiver out on the far side, and the handoff is going to go to James, the fullback. He gets a bit of blocking and won't make much of it. Maybe a yard, if any.
Jack Smith on a stop for Lunenburg.
Stop right in the middle.
No gain, 3rd and 10.
Fantastic fullback, but going against 4 D linemen, not going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the play call from the Hawks going for the pass on that opening play. Now, you know, your last possession, you run the ball 3 times and you get 3 yards, and you know you don't get much else besides that. We've had the Hawks only complete 2 first downs so far at the end of this first quarter. And yeah, so when we come back, Hawks will be facing another 3rd and long from their own 38, and we have Brady Pareda pacing around on the sideline. He looks ready to get back in action. We'll be back in just a few moments. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. I'm ready. Ready? Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith, still here with Tyler Wolkowitz. We're coming into the second quarter. We've switched directions now. The Hawks will now be heading to the left of your screen. We have an injury update for Javian Cabrera. We have some sources on the field that have told us that he had dislocated his shoulder. Tough guy, didn't hear anything about it from him. So, you know, he's likely to be back, you know, for the next game, I'd hope. But now on the field, a 3rd and long for the Hawks. Short passing play, a little bit too far ahead for Ben Karen.
Yeah. The number 4, Ben Karen.
Nice and short, coming off the break already with some injuries and some questionable injuries. So.
No gain on play, 4th down. 4th and 10 for the Red Hawks.
All right, yep, no gain.
And so it looks like it's going to be another 3 and out for the Hawks. Really tough break, unless, and it looks like they won't, Rouleau coming off to the sideline. Yep. It's going to be Colin West punting, as it was before.
Back to receive for the Blue Knights.
Let's see this again.
His last punt was a long one, and this one looks to be something similar. Will drop in front of the receiver and roll plenty of the way down the field. Still going.
Went down at the...
And that'll be at like the 18, I think.
Yeah. 20-yard line where
that ball had so much
19.
spin. Rolled get to 15 yards. That was awesome.
Now,
so much room.
I'm trying to do math in my head again. I was 56 yards. 56 yards. Again, don't quote me because I don't know how good my math is right now. I have honors stats next semester, so I'm not in the mindset right now. Those few plays took a minute off of the second quarter, and now some bad field position again for the Blue Knights. Score is still 3-0. The only score has been a field goal. For having concerns going into this game about the defense, the Hawks have really shown up, Tyler.
They really have. They've been able to cover well even when they don't often play pass first.
And a lateral pass over to the far side. He's got some room to work with and lays his shoulder down. Tackle was made by Colin West, but the stop was made by Noah Pareda.
Lunenburg first down.
They definitely read that where they were going, but they weren't able to get to him in time. It was still a great run by him.
1st and 10 from the Red Hawk, 36-yard line.
And that was Zavojanovic again with the catch and run. So they moved from the 19 up to the 35.
Huge gain. Again, a lot of wide receivers coming out.
Yeah, and I mean, like I was saying before, Javian was telling me, pass first team, and it looks like they've been doing this a lot. They also have a pretty solid running game, good offense overall, and that makes it even more impressive that the Hawks have been able to stick with them. No hole there as he is wrapped up and slammed to the ground by Julian Adams.
Not only did Adams get to him right away, other people were diving at his legs. He had nowhere to go with that.
That'll be maybe a 4-yard gain right there. 2nd and 6 for the Blue Knights from their own 45, or excuse me, from their own 40.
All right, they still have a lot of room to work with. They know that they're again a pass-first offense. However, they've been running a lot. They have really strong.
They have, but honestly, it hasn't been working too well.
Right.
They've opened up 1 or 2 seams in the defensive line for the Hawks, but really, they just, the line for the Hawks is incredibly strong.
Yeah, exactly.
A little less so without Cabrera, but they have a little bit of depth there. The handoff cuts inside, and he's brought down, maybe short of the first down. Adams there again for the tackle.
Augusta on a carry.
And they'll give him the first down.
On stop, carry good for
just barely gain over the first down.
First down, 1st and 10. Lunenburg from the Lunenburg.
So that'll be on their 47. And the Hawks not letting up anything big right now. They're definitely, the defense has been growing over the course of the game. They're starting to have that chemistry and understanding Lunenburg a little bit better. But how much is Lunenburg starting to understand them? It's that constant battle. And we've got 2 receivers out on either side, or 1 receiver out on either side. But they'll go with the handoff again, up the gut. And he's still kicking. Finally brought down by Caden James. And it looks like he might be a yard short of the first down. James a little slow to get up. Might have gotten the wind knocked out of him.
Absolutely. I mean,
Flag on the play.
looks like astounding.
Oh, and we got a flag on the play. I didn't even see it.
Or did I? Wow.
Oh, it's all the way on the other side of the field. Yeah, well, that'll explain it.
Okay.
Refs deferring. Frontier student section seems to feel good about the flag.
Let's see it.
And they're going to wave it off.
Flag is waved off.
There we go.
All right.
That doesn't happen that often.
No, it doesn't. The ball will be short of the first down, so we'll have a 2nd and inches, honestly.
Yep.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
I can't imagine that they would pass here. Go for a run.
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to pick up a few yards here and there. The pass doesn't seem to be necessary.
Again, this Lunenburg offense is rather tricky. They do stick to their guns, but they could easily get a big gain here with the pass.
Absolutely. 2 receivers on the near side. Tight end on the far. And timeout's going to be called by the Blue Knights coach. Water break coming out for Lunenburg and for the Hawks. Just under 8 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to take a quick break on the field and in the booth. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television.
All right. I know. I keep wanting to say something, but then I'm like, oh.
Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here with Tyler Wolkowitz and the rest of the FCAT crew. It is second and inches virtually for the Lunenburg Blue Knights. They are on Frontier's 44-yard line.
Very tight formation here.
And we'll get another handoff. Cut to the outside. He's got a few blockers and the first down. How far is he going to go? He's brought down just short of the 30-yard line. And flag is thrown late after the play.
Very late.
Likely to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, I'd expect. So maybe some words exchanged. But on the carry there was Rowdy Augusti.
Seeing some fingers being pointed to the Lunenburg bench.
Yeah. Unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul, something of the like there.
Yep.
We'll see what the refs end up calling. It looks like he's going over to have a word with the Lunenburg staff, and now he's coming to deliver the call. It will be called.
Unsportsmanlike penalty on Lunenburg. Dead ball foul.
Dead ball foul.
Hitting after the ball is already dead.
Ah, I see. Now, that I see. I understand that call, and that's, I mean, right call to make if you're hitting after the play. We also saw earlier in the game some pretty aggressive late hits from Connor James on Frontier's side of the ball. And honestly, I was shocked that that wasn't called for a foul, you know. I think that, you know, nothing on the integrity of the refs at all. I think they've done a wonderful job so far. But now the Lunenburg Blue Knights are going to have to try again to – they'll have a 1st and 10. Having some whistles blown, and now motion on the far side. Snap is there. Agnesi with the handoff once again to the far side, and he's brought down probably short of the first down, it looks like. Colin West on the tackle.
There it is. Lunenburg has been running some fantastic dynamic offensive plays by being able to use some motion with their wide receivers, throwing off the defense, being able to alternate in between running and passing like seamlessly.
It's some great diversion, really. And I mean, yeah, that movement, because, and like we've been saying, they love to pass, this Lunenburg team, and Frontier knows that, and they're keeping that in mind, but Lunenburg is using that against the Hawks because they're anticipating the pass, and they see the movement, they think a route's going to be there, and then it's just not because they keep handing it off to Augusti and Gamboris.
Absolutely.
And now, once again, we have a player in the backfield. Can't see their number right now. And motion on the far side. Looks like the same play. Could be seeing running again. And it looks like we will. Gamboris with it this time. And he gets turned over. 1st down, Lunenburg.
Agnesi on the carry.
No matter how much we can compliment their dynamic offense, we know they were able to know that that play was very similar, but still wasn't going to come out the exact same. That's some good linebackers being able to find the exact hole and stop it.
And obviously, we got to give some credit to the Lunenburg offensive line, creating those seams in the defense for these running backs to bust through into the open field, you know, and forcing the linebackers and the secondary defensemen to make those open field tackles. That's huge.
Yeah. Huge part of the game that barely goes talked about.
huge part of this offensive plan.
Absolutely.
And once again, now Agnesi to his younger brother. He's got some distance and will get a first down.
There you go.
Big run once again. I did not catch you got that tackle.
Agnesi on a carry. Carry good for a Blue Knight first down.
These runs have been very well articulated because of how wide our defense is being spread out.
Yeah.
First and 10 from the Hawks 20-yard line.
And now they've gone pretty much, they flipped the field pretty much. They started around the 20. And, you know, it's nothing to do with the starting position. Lunenburg just seems to be able to get in this groove and march down the field and make you pay for these mistakes and misreadings that you're making on defense. Because, you know, they keep putting these receivers out. You got number 18, who's one of the captains on the team, Blake Buick, and he hasn't touched the ball once, I don't think. Maybe he might have gotten one catch early in the game. But once again, we got to run up the middle. Oh, and he's wrapped up fast. Strong tackle from the linebacker. That looked like Colin West.
Rowdy Augusti on a carry.
I mean, when this team is going coast to coast, you really got to be able to find the consistency of stopping them. And no matter what it is, run, pass,
second and 4.
Motion, you got to be able to stop it.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing tackles made by Frontier's defense. The issue is not that they aren't making tackles, because they know how to make tackles, and they're making great textbook tackles.
Absolutely.
The issue is that they're letting up yards before the tackle. And nothing huge. We're not seeing big plays. I mean, we saw a 38-yard run, you know, 45-yard catch and run, you know, stuff like that. But it's just, you know, short of the first down, but they keep chipping away.
Nice.
And that's what you need to see. Big stop. Colin West in the backfield.
Instantly got around the O-line.
West on the stop, no gain.
That's what you like to see.
Yeah.
Loss of a yard, 3rd and 5.
Loss of a yard, too.
And that's big. You know, beyond just like they have an extra yard to go after that, it's a mental game. And we can't stress it enough. You know, it's every sport that we can talk about. There's so much mentally going on and just these mind games that as spectators, people have never been on the field, have never been, you know, hearing these plays called out in front of us as the ball's about to get snapped. We just don't know, you know, what it's like. And now we're switching up a bit of the formation here, having some receivers lined up on the far side instead of the near. And motion from Buick cuts back, and they'll pitch it back out to him. He's going to run. Got plenty of pressure. And, oh, my goodness!
There we go.
What a tackle!
Look at that.
Connor James, he's making a name for himself tonight.
Yes, he is.
Number 9.
We love to see that.
Connor James.
And these are exactly the plays that the Frontier
Loss of
have.
5,
They go for the
4th
long
and 10.
pitches, opposite sides of where the formation is. There's plenty of room for the running back to go, but they quickly close that off.
And a few of the fans, not all of them, but a few of them making sure Lunenburg knows that Connor James is a freshman and just made that play on a senior.
Wow.
That, I mean,
That's very impressive.
huge stuff. You could say this is a rebuilding year for the Hawks after a big loss of some linemen and offensive players. But, you know, they've got every chance to win their fair share of games this season. And we'll get a look ahead on that when we come back into the second half of this game, which we're 2.5 minutes away from. Timeout's going to be taken by Lunenburg.
Timeout taken by Lunenburg.
And while they're doing that, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. I didn't know if you wanted to say something, but I've been talking for a little while.
Yeah, no, totally. Oh my. I really want to say
Again, a couple of reminders. Concession stand is open. Senior class appreciates your support. And at halftime, we'll be entertained by the Red Hawk Band. Give a shout out to the Blue Knight cheerleaders. Nice job over there.
Yeah.
impressive.
It's impressive. They're coming all this way out here.
Yeah, yeah.
See, like, where's that school spirit here? You know what I mean?
I know.
It's like, we got kids standing up, but there's no chance.
Congrats,
you know,
you're standing.
Yeah. Not it.
All right, lock in. All right.
Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We're coming back with 2:28 on the clock for this first half.
Oh.
4th and long for the Blue Knights, and they're looking to pass. He's looking to the far side. Pocket collapses. He's going out, trying to get it away. Bombs it to the end zone, running, and it's too far. Incomplete. What an effort again from Agnesi, and a flag is down in the backfield. This might be coming back, folks.
That play would have gone incredibly differently if the Frontier coaches did not signal for our cornerbacks to go to the far side. That was the intended receiver for sure, and he was completely uncovered until the last very second, and that made the quarterback not know what to do.
And oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Well, isn't this deja vu?
Yep.
Roughing the passer call on the Redhawks, and now they're going to go half the distance to the goal. A beautiful stop on a 4th and long, and ruined just like that. And I say deja vu because you know what happened last year? East Hampton, last play of the game, second to last play of the game, we were holding them at the 40-yard line, and then they get a 10-yard penalty for roughing the passer because just, you know, being unaware on defense, it's what happens, and then they get that last-second touchdown, and East Hampton wins the game. This isn't the same scenario, obviously, but that roughing the passer call has been haunting the Redhawks for a long time.
Yes, it has, Mason. It's always a very intense call anytime in the game.
So now a fresh set of downs on 1st and goal for the Blue Knights. Right up the gut, and a stop made by Logan Grinkovich.
Tackled by a host of Redhawks.
Down right away. 2 minutes left. Very close to the, oh wow, where are they on? They're on like the 6 or 7.
2nd and goal from the Redhawk 6-yard line.
6-yard line.
That was a 4-yard gain.
It is.
So again, what I was saying, you know, you have these not big plays, just chipping away, small yards, enough where you go 2-3 plays of the same thing, you're going to get a first down, and you do it all over again.
Exactly.
And the Hawks need to find a way to stop it, you know, or just cut it down, read them a little bit more, anticipate it, you know. And obviously it's much more complex than that, but
consistency is immaculate.
movement in the backfield.
Yeah, a lot of motion.
Options on either side. And it's going to be a quarterback sneak to the far side. Agnesi will take it in, but there's flags in the backfield on both sides. Yeah. Looks like it came off of a Blue Knight. Right now, it would be a touchdown for the Blue Knights. It has not been signaled, so it's likely that it's not going to stand. Unless it's a penalty on the Hawks, then in that case, the penalty will be declined.
Flags thrown on both sides.
False start.
Looks like a false start call. It's going to be on Lunenburg. Wow.
2nd and goal.
Big killer right there.
From the Hawk 11-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 11. So, I mean, talk about a buzzkill, man. That's, we got a minute 30 to go, or no, excuse me, minute 13 to go. And Lunenburg with a 2nd down, a 3rd down, and likely going to go for it on 4th down. They've got 3 downs. They've got 3 attempts to score a touchdown here. And
they're already being creative with the quarterback sneaks too.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm not expecting that to see that again. They, you know, pulled it out of their playbook, and now it's kind of out of the bag, so they probably won't draw it up again, at least on this drive here. Fullback in position. He'll get the handoff. Plenty of room. Dredge trips him up but doesn't make the stop. Oh, and what a tackle from Connor James again, keeping him just shy of the goal line.
Wow.
Beautifully done.
That's very tight. There's a lot of good motion right in the front. The quarterback hit it off very smoothly.
3rd down, 3rd and goal.
And everyone collapsed on the far side.
Yeah.
Barely being able to stop him before the goal line.
3rd and goal from the Redhawk 2-yard line.
And that'll be a 9-yard gain.
Wow.
I mean, this is why I'm saying, you know, the Hawks, they got to figure out a way to stop these running plays, because Agnesi, they're putting enough pressure on Agnesi where the passing plays have not been able to come up from anything, you know. They've gotten maybe like 1 or 2 complete passes, and it's been a very rare thing. But now it looks like they're going to be running it again, and they will. Reaching for it, and he's in. Touchdown, Lunenburg.
Number 6, Nick Agnesi for a Lunenburg touchdown.
And that'll be the younger Agnesi, yes.
Nice.
Or actually, I don't know. They're both juniors.
Oh.
We're not sure.
They're twins.
Probably.
Alrighty. Here we go.
Well, the quarterback's brother is what I'd guess. Yeah,
somewhere.
relation.
Yep.
There you go.
There.
So Hawks down by 2 scores now, and getting ready to kick the extra point is going to be Liam McKenna. He made a field goal earlier in the game.
Massive leg.
And false start on the Hawks. A long wait on that snap, and Caden James just couldn't contain his excitement.
James wanted it more than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be highly unlikely that he's able to stop this ball. The kicker has an absolute massive leg, very like a cannon.
And now
Awesome to see.
I'm not sure what exactly this penalty is going to result in and how it might change the play. They might end up going for 2 points on this.
I'm seeing some bigger guys being moved in.
Yeah, and Agnesi's back out of the field.
Yep.
Well, they're going for 2, folks. This would make it 11-0.
This is adding insult to injury.
Yeah, a difficult score to tie with for the Hawks as well.
Yeah.
And this looks to be just about one of the last plays of this half. Plenty of time in the huddle. This is a big, risky move for Lunenburg, not taking the easy field goal. We'll see what they want to do here. Setting up on the far side. And the receiver out to the right is Rory Ferguson. Movement back into the pile. Probably going to run for it again. They got plenty of blockers. And no, it's going to be a quarterback sneak. Agnesi will take it into the corner. Oh, what a play. And flags on the play. That's going to be against Lunenburg for a late hit.
There's a flag on the play.
If this stands, the refs are going to have to defer about this. That was close. That was a hit against Ben Karen, who was right in front of the ref, who called for the touchdown, and then the flag was thrown by a ref who was a little bit towards the middle of the field. So we're going to have to see what they do about this, and it is going to be a foul.
Oh, wow.
Personal foul.
Yeah. Bring it back again.
On the Blue Knights will be enforced on the kickoff.
So the 2 points.
14 seconds remaining in first half. Lunenburg Blue Knights.
The 2 points will stand. However, the penalty is going to be enforced on the kickoff. Interesting call there. Definitely not what I was expecting to get out of this game. But we've got 13 seconds, and we're going to see the penalty play out in this kickoff. The best the Hawks can hope for right now is a big run back, you know. Big, quick run back. And the clock stops at the end of the when the ball gets down at the end of the kickoff.
Right.
So,
yeah, often these kick returns here for high school don't last longer than 7-8 seconds, but you never know. If this is a big run, it could be all in here.
And if we get to a situation where there's still time on the clock and the Hawks are around, well, honestly, wherever they are, we're probably going to end up seeing a Hail Mary throw unless they're on their own 30, let's say. If I'd say like 40, their own 40 and forward, they're going to try and get a score out of this. But
absolutely. You got
beyond that, you want to play it safe. You don't want to really screw yourself over right before you go into the second half. And Scott Dredge knows that all too well.
Exactly. This is very, very crucial play.
McKenna ready to kick again.
Brady Blair. Garrett Dredge back for the Hawks.
And here it comes. Garrett Dredge going to field it at the 25. He's got some blockers, and he gets all the way to the Hawks' own 45.
Ferguson on the stop.
And they've got 7 seconds. 20-yard run back for Dredge.
7 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, this is the range that you want. This is doable. You get a nice long throw here. You get a couple extra yards.
At the Frontier 47-yard line.
Seems like they're staying out there. There's a lot of room.
Yeah. They got time for 1, maybe 2 plays. 3 if one of them ends up ending really quickly. And I'm not sure how many timeouts the Hawks have left, but this is going to be one of the rare passing plays for the Hawks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very crucial. Got to get a lot of yardage here. They're very quick. A couple inches more.
And here we go.
Set.
They're lining up, and they're just going to take the knee. I was getting ready for it, but that's all right. That is going to send the clock down to 0, and we are heading to halftime. 11-0 is the score. Lunenburg Blue Knights on top, and the Hawks yet to see the red zone. We will be back in just a few moments actually, with a performance from the Frontier Regional Marching Band, who is out on the track right now. And back in a few minutes with the second half of this opening football game of the season. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television.
nice hand for the Frontier Band under the direction of Max Sherrill. Nice job, band.
Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here with Tyler Wolkowitz, Cole Melnick, Kevin Murphy, and Connor Mabius, and the rest of the FCAT crew. We are just about to come into the second half of this Friday night football on FCAT. It's the Frontier Redhawks against the Lunenburg Blue Knights. 11-0 is the score. Blue Knights are on top, and they're going to be receiving the opening kickoff of the second half, Tyler.
Yes, they are, Mason. So far, it's been a very interesting game. It's the first game of the season for both of these teams, and they've had some good preseason. Very tough stuff, getting them whipped into shape. However, this is still the real first one.
Absolutely. And, I mean, going into this, we, were expecting a tough game for the Hawks because of last year's game. 32-6, again, was the score of that last game that these two teams had against each other. Lunenburg came out on top. But right now, I mean, we're on trajectory to have a closer game than we did last time. Yeah. And you know what? If you want to call this a rebuilding year for the Hawks, you can. We're going to wait and see before we make that call. I feel like, you could say plenty of different things, and there's also plenty of injuries that have been happening right now. Also an update on that. No word about Javian Cabrera, but now Brady Pareda is sitting on the bench. It looks like something might have happened with his ankle. He keeps pacing around, looking a little bit in pain. We'll wait and see if he comes back on the field or not. But as we were saying, it's looking like it's going to be a closer game regardless, and that kind of growth is good for the Hawks. We can understand and appreciate and acknowledge that this is a great team, and if they can stand up against them like this, we can expect to see wins against teams that might not be up to Lunenburg standard. A few teams later on in the year, for example, Greenfield. That game's going to be towards the end of this month, and even though it's in Greenfield, we're going to be traveling to it most likely. It's right nearby, and that's a big one as always. So we'll be happy to cover that for you guys. And now we're getting ready for the opening kickoff for the second half. Caden James will be out there to kick it for the Frontier Redhawks.
Train going by. Good luck. Turning point.
Says who?
Begun.
Who told you that one?
The conductor.
Right, gotcha.
See ya. 11-0.
24 minutes for the Hawks to make this a close one. Or even come back. Who knows? And that's going to be an onside kick. Oh, and it hits him. Oh, my God.
Oh, my. Did he fell on top of it?
He fell on top of it.
Yeah.
Crazy lucky break for the Lunenburg Golden Knights. I mean, when you talk about awareness, that is not what you have in mind.
Wow.
He's looking in front of him. The ball's heading right to him. It practically rode up his whole body before he realized it was there.
Yeah, by all rights, that should have been Frontier's ball at the 50. Oh, my goodness.
That's insane.
That was intense. It was a perfect bounce right off his right thigh.
Absolutely. It traveled the required distance.
Yeah.
I mean,
they had people right there, too. It's just he could just fall right on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 14-yard kick. That's exactly where you want it to be.
Beautiful.
Perfect placement and just, I mean, very unlucky break for the Hawks. Now in shotgun position, as usual, is the Blue Knights. Agnesi fakes the handoff, and down on the field is John Rouleau as he's taking it, looks like to the house. He's got a swarm of Hawks around him, and he gets bodied down by Connor James, another big tackle. But he's waving his hands around saying, what's going on, guys? Where are our blockers?
That was really intense. It was a fantastic offensive play. They did not know where the ball was going. There's so much room to run. And the blocker that was in front of him cut him off an extra 10 yards. It's great.
Yeah, and I mean, that went from the 47 all the way to about 12, yeah, 12-yard line. I mean, huge run right there. That's looking at probably, what, 32, 30, 40? 40-yard run.
Oh. Wow.
Big
Really
gain,
good stuff.
especially on the ground. And this is why we're saying the Hawks, we were saying, it's a pass-first team. They've moved away from the pass because the rush has been working.
Yeah.
And if the Hawks need to figure out a way to shut down this running game, otherwise, you know, chances of making this close are pretty slim for them. They've got 2 receivers on the near side, shotgun again.
Exactly, they're very limited.
Augusti will not get the handoff. It's pitched over to the wide receiver. Buick stiff arms a man. The ball's loose, and it's recovered. Brady Pareda has the ball.
It's the call, a lot of whistles.
Struggle on the ground. No call yet. Flags go sky high. No signal as to who has it. The ball certainly came loose. Did it come loose before he was down, though? It's going to be a close call. Plenty of flag. This is going to be a lot to handle right here.
Both coaches plenty far on the field.
And they've motioned.
Covered by the Red Hawks. Personal foul.
Ball has been recovered by the Hawks. Personal foul on the Hawks. So
Half the distance to the goal. It'll be first down, Frontier.
Frontier has forced a fumble and recovered it.
There we go. That's what we like to see. Also,
That is huge.
Another thing we like to see, Mason, I see Cam Stiffington and Porter Hall standing up and got the whole entire student crowd
Well, there we
standing
go.
up again.
That's exactly
Thank
what
you.
we need. This is, I mean,
Fumble recovered by number 7, Brady Pareda.
huge defensive play. The unfortunate side of this, whatever the opposite of a silver lining might be, is that they have some pretty terrible field position right now. They're within their own, not even within their own 10, they're within their own 5.
Yeah, wow. That is intense.
So now lining up on the line of scrimmage, a few last-second changes being made by Lunenburg, and a timeout is going to be called as they couldn't get all their men on the field at the time, or in time, excuse me.
A lot of room to work with.
Timeout on the field, and we're going to take a quick break up here. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We apologize for those technical difficulties. Luckily, you folks at home didn't miss anything on the field. The timeout is just coming back. The ball's going to be pitched back to Brady Pareda. He gets out of the backfield and cuts back inside, still in play, and finally wrestled out of bounds.
Brady Pareda on the carry.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from those positions, like wide receiver, cornerback. Oh my gosh, wow, so much room.
Knocked out of bounds
I thought it was
by
flat for a second. Okay,
Oh.
sorry. Okay,
Toomey.
that threw me off.
Gain of 5,
they were
second
able to
and
go
5.
through. Brady Pareda was finding a lot of room and be able to rip through a couple tackles before being brought down.
Yeah, it was a great run, good blocking on the play as well. And now the Hawks will have 2nd and 5 from their own 8. And that's a huge sigh of relief right there. I mean, 8 yards to the goal line, it's not a lot to work with, but it's better than 3. So here we go, the pitch over to Pareda again, pretty much the same play, and he goes out of bounds. Great job by Pareda, who we were worried wasn't even going to come back into the game. Now gets 2 back-to-back running plays.
Gain of
Something that happens a lot more.
3 yards, 3rd and 2 for the Red Hawks.
Wrong. It seemed like it was readjusting his knee and different pass in his calf.
Yeah, and so now it will be 3rd, for the first time in a long while, 3rd and short for the Hawks. 3rd and 2 on their own 11. That's the bad news. On their own 11, and a tight formation, although they got some tight ends in position, and that looks like going to be a big false start from the Blue Knights.
Flags on a play. Offside, Lunenburg, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, offside on
First down,
Lunenburg.
Red
And
Hawks.
so that is huge break for the Hawks, and that's going to give them a little bit more insurance in the backfield.
1st and 10, Frontier.
And they aren't even going to break for a huddle. They're going right to it. Same formation we just saw.
From the Hawks, 16-yard line.
Handoff to James. caught up in the pile. And, I was tricked up too. Wow. James did not get the ball. I was Pareda on the carry.
Pareda on the carry.
This formation that Frontier has been running for a while has been very creative with being able to not let the defense figure out what they're doing. It's not very much motion, but very
Jack
tight,
Smith
limiting view.
On the stop, gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
As you can see, a little bit over 9 minutes left. Counting down, figure out that play.
Huddle now for the Hawks. It will be 2nd and 8 for them from their own 18, slowly inching away from where they had started, which was their own 3-yard line. A score on this drive would be really something special, Tyler.
Oh.
And
brought down.
That'll be brought down quickly, yeah.
Carter Robinson was lined up far outside, yet nothing happened.
And on that carry was Pareda.
No gain.
Yep,
3rd
no
and 8.
gain.
Yeah.
Straight back down. 3rd and 8. All right, 8.5 minutes left. Garrett Dredge looking at the coach, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and now we get to what we're a little bit more used to, unfortunately, the 3rd and long. Let's see if the Hawks have found a solution to it yet. Seems like it might not be the handoff, but it looks like that might be what they want to go for. Tight formation again, motion in the backfield by Pareda, who was limping before the play. Handoff is kept by Dredge, and he pitches it over to Pareda, who catches it. Great job. Pass was a little bit behind him. And that's a trick play we've seen them run a few times last season as well.
Absolutely.
Gain of a few yards, maybe 3.
3 yards. It'll be 4th and 5 for the Red Hawks.
4th and 5. This is doable. They can go for it, but looks like there's some. Wow. Okay. Some players coming on, some players coming off for both teams.
Yeah.
Do they have two that are still discussing?
Back to punt for Frontier.
Nah, they're going to go for the punt.
And so on their 4th possession, and for the 4th time tonight, the Red Hawks will punt the ball away. And it's West back to punt again. From the 10-yard line, sends it sky high. Once again, a beautifully placed ball in front of the receiver, and it will be picked up at the 33.
Dredge and Ben Karen have been getting there very fast. The Lunenburg defense has not tried to recover it at any time.
Yeah.
Special teams has not been doing much action.
Yeah, it's pretty clear the receiver who's been there the past few times, number 13 for Lunenburg, Colin Toomey, he's been trained well, obviously. He's got some good special teams coaches. He knows to not try and scoop up that ball when the defense is getting that close to him.
Absolutely.
So now Frontier back on defense. Last play on defense was a forced fumble recovery, huge play by Brady Pareda, who's been a big difference maker in this game so far. We got 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, Tyler, and plenty of time for both teams to score, maybe for the Hawks to get within 1 score of the Blue Knights, who have been leading for this whole game ever since they scored that first field goal in the 1st quarter. Snap is off to Agnesi. Handoff. He gets a few blockers and will get swarmed and brought down out of bounds.
Yeah.
Great tackle from Carter Robinson.
Yeah, it's a very good run, just going off. This thing where you're running on the side, you don't have to go into them, you just keep going. You keep going around. You got plenty of room there.
Very good for
unable to shut him off early.
First down.
That'll be about an 11-yard gain. First down for the Blue Knights. And, good tackle from Robinson and a follow-up by West as he was heading out of bounds. But it doesn't really count for much if you're not stopping the first downs, if you're not shutting down this offense, because now look at where they are. They're on their own 44, and they're getting ready to gear up and go into your own territory. Yeah. It's what's been happening this whole game, and it's what's going to keep happening if the Hawks don't change something. We got receivers on either side, 2 on the far end, shotgun position, and the handoff will happen despite the diversions on the wideouts. And, a beautiful tackle around the legs, and that was Colin West.
There we go.
For just a few yards.
A lot of stops in the middle. We really got to give it to the D-line to be able to do all this without JV and Cabrera.
Absolutely. It's incredible, really. They rely on him so heavily. He's such a huge factor in everything that goes on that line of scrimmage for the Red Hawks. And now that he's gone, they're really stepping up. And, the guys that might not have played tonight because he was out there, and now he's gone, they're getting their opportunity. And it's just like a preseason game. You see it all the time in the NFL. It's, this is my chance. This is the plays I got to make. And, you see a lineman rush, running down a wide receiver to make a tackle. He just earned his spot on the team. That's how it works. And these are the chances that these kids are getting tonight. Motion on the near side for Lunenburg. And now the handoff once again. Oh, and he escapes the tackle. Big hit!
Oh!
Get out of town!
Look at that.
Caden James laying down the shoulder.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Beautiful. Look at that. No gain at all. Was that even a loss?
I think that was a yard.
Wow.
Just saw them move the sticks forward a little bit.
What a gain.
So now they're looking at a 3rd and 5, and that's why you have a guy on the field, 220 pounds, and can run the ball like that, because he can lay down those hits and just drive someone into the ground, stop him cold. He just ran into a freight train right there. That was beautiful.
Certainly not a position anyone would envy.
Certainly not me. I don't think I could take that.
No.
I don't know if I have enough fat on my bones.
There we go.
Lunenburg coming out of the huddle, receivers going out to the far side and one to the near.
All right, this is a setup we see them do a lot.
Yeah, likely to have a handoff again, and it will happen. Stopped. Good tackle from not Connor James. That's number 19. No, excuse me. That'll be 79. Grinkovich, who gets the tackle there.
Got a little bit of the head there. Now 4th down.
4th and 1.
4th and 1.
4th and 1. Now, are they going to go for it?
I don't have any doubt that they will.
It's, yeah.
Quarterback coming back in. Playbook in hand.
It's certainly, it's been working for them. You have running backs who have been just picking away at Frontier all game. Augusti, number 5, Gimboris, Nick Agnesi, not Matt Agnesi, the quarterback, but Nick. And now Jacob Rice on the sideline, the man with the shaved head. He's getting the crowd hyped up. Motion on the far side. Frontier getting ready to blitz, it looks like. Here comes the handoff. Hole is there, and he gets the first down. A good read from James to go up the gut, but just can't stop Nick Agnesi. These Agnesi brothers are something else, Tyler, and they're really making these plays happen for the Blue Knights. Time running low on the 3rd quarter, and hopes for the Hawks to make this a close one, especially if the Blue Knights keep chipping away at the field like this.
Absolutely, Mason. They're making great ground. It's not substantial every time, but they have their breakaway plays. They have their small, consistent plays. We're not being able to stop them too well. The line is getting holes and everything. It's tough.
The good thing about the defense that you can get out of this is that they're making them work for it. It's not easy first downs, The Blue Knights have figured out what's working for them, and it's that running play. But now, Julian Adams wraps him up, and it's a sack.
Wow.
Down he goes.
Look at that. Big loss of yards. Props to the quarterback for not dropping that ball.
Huge props
on him, right on his arm, and then another hit in the front. Very impressive.
That is a huge loss right there. It'll be a loss of 3 yards. Definitely seemed like a lot more from the crowd's reaction.
2nd and 13.
Less than 2 minutes left in the quarter.
And that was Max Hunter, I believe. Yeah. Max Hunter and Julian Adams, who combined for that sack and a loss of 3. Massive play from the defensive line, and that's the kind of stuff that we need to see more of. You read the play, see that they're going to do some kind of rushing play, and if it's a trick play like that, you're right there to get to Agnesi. Shotgun position again. He'll look for the handoff and go for it this time. The center is down, and Caden James tells him to kiss the ground.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
No yards.
Look at that. Slow to walk.
And this is what we were hoping to see for the opening game of the Hawks. Just stopping them cold, sacking the quarterback. This is the defense that you want to see. Look at out there. We got jerseys rolling up shoulder pads. That shows effort. This is the effort that these guys are putting in on the field right now. Absolutely. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 13 for the Blue Knights. This is a first.
It really is, man. Oh, my gosh. They don't seem to be worried, but let's see how they do.
Shotgun position again. Agnesi back to throw. Pressure from Colin West. Probably not going to get there. Throw down the sideline, and it's caught on his knees. A great reception from Buick.
Right on the end.
And that'll convert the first down. Yeah. I mean, like we were saying, see, the Hawks now anticipating the run game, and they're figuring out how to shut it down. And Lunenburg flips the switch, and they pass it. They get the first down. That's what makes this team so dangerous, and so they can score when they want to. And at this point, they're loving the run game because it's taking time off the clock. They're already up 2 scores, and they want to keep it that way. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. No score, no change in score. It's still 11-0, but the Hawks seeming to come into their own, especially on that defensive line. We will be back in just a few moments. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here with Tyler Wolkowitz and the rest of the FCAT crew. We have 12 more minutes to play. It's 11-0 Lunenburg, and they're on trajectory to score once again. The Hawks defense needs to make a big stop here. Handoff once again. Up the gut. Connor James is there. Wow. No dice.
Hands were so close to the ball there, almost dancing loose.
Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 already.
Only 1 yard gain there, and that's the kind of stops I was talking about in the 3rd quarter. And in the 2nd quarter, they're figuring it out, and now they're forcing Lunenburg to make those passing plays, and hopefully that doesn't force them to make game-winning plays. You know, because if you're shutting down one aspect of their offense, they're going to go to the other facets of it. And if Lunenburg is able to capitalize on those strategies, they're going to come out with the win today. But we still have 11 minutes and 15 seconds for the Hawks to turn something around and maybe even win this game.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. There's plenty of time.
Motion on the near side, and now handoff. And a quick tackle, only 1 yard. Colin West getting around the left side.
Colin West on the
stop. What you like to see. You got to see this consistency right back at him. The Lunenburg offense can be as strong as they want to, change as much as they want to, but as long as Frontier can get there, get to the ball before they get these big gains, then they're going to win the game.
Absolutely. This is right now where they are right here. Yep. This is out of field goal range. They're going to force them to make a play, and they need to be able to stop them on that play ultimately. They need to stop them on this penultimate play, and then the ultimate play of hopefully a 4th and long if they can stop them cold again. It looks like we might be seeing some kind of passing play from Lunenburg here. We've got two receivers out, one on each side, and shotgun position for the running back.
Tight end.
And timeout is going to be taken for Lunenburg. I think that's a good call right there, Tyler. And while we have a moment, we can talk a little bit about the schedule for the Hawks coming up. Their next game, they have a bye week next week, which is nice for me. I get my birthday off. Unless we go and cover, I think there's a girls' volleyball game that day, so we might be doing that. But we'll see. That's the next game that they have is on September 20th against Franklin Tech. And if anyone remembers, it was not a great quality shoot. We didn't have the best equipment that day, but we covered a fantastically exciting game against Franklin Tech a year ago, and it ended with a Frontier victory 27-22, a game-winning catch by then wide receiver Caden James. And he, absolutely electric. I've seen the photos that were taken of that catch. Honestly reminiscent of OBJ. And I'm not even trying to, give him more props or anything. It was just spectacular. And then after that, the next week on the 27th is a game at Greenfield. We already talked about that. But now the timeout is up, and back on the field is a huge play for this game and the Red Hawks and the start of their season. Same formation we saw before, one receiver on each side. Shotgun position for the Blue Knights. Here comes the snap. Back to throw is Agnesi. Pressure is coming. Pocket is collapsed, and he does not get wrapped up. He escapes the tackle, gets the first down, and what a run from Agnesi. But there is a flag in the backfield, and Coach Dredge is telling everyone it is coming back.
Yep, that was definitely holding on Connor James. He came flying in there like his hair was on fire, but he still got held right at before he could take him down.
On the Blue Knights.
And this is exactly why you need this pressure on the quarterback. It happened. I mean, me, I'm a Giants fan. If anyone out there is a Giants fan, you know that we have been plagued and honestly, so many other teams in the NFL have been plagued for years upon years of just bad offensive lines, and not calling Lunenburg's offensive line bad, but also facing up against incredible defensive lines. It's the defensive strategies have gotten so advanced, and it's just become so hard to combat against. So now we're looking at a huge 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. Obviously, I mean, I say obviously, but we never really know. It looks like it's going to be a passing play for Lunenburg here. But you don't have that protection for the quarterback. You can blame the quarterback all you want. Oh, he's not making the passes. He's not throwing in the right places. If he doesn't have time to think, he's not going to do what he needs to do. Exactly. Now we have 3 receivers in a triangle formation on the far side. It looks like we might have a blocking scheme over there. Shotgun position for the running back. And here comes the snap for Agnesi. He's back to throw. Receivers on the left side. He's looking for it, and it is caught. No, it's not. Incomplete. Good thing for the Hawks. There was no one within around 5 yards of that man. He was already on the ground when he caught it, but now it will be a 4th and 15. This is going to be an interesting play call. I don't think they could very well go for it. I don't expect them to go for a field goal, though. It's either going to be they go for the first down or they just punt it.
Yeah, absolutely, Mason. This is a far field goal even for their crazy kicker, but
yeah,
we will see.
I mean, McKenna is something special. It's not about can he kick it that far. He can.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he can.
Oh, yeah.
Can he kick it that far at a certain height and straight? But it doesn't look like we're going to have much more discussion about that because Agnesi is back on the field. They are going for it on 4th and 15. Obviously very confident, and they have every reason to be. The Hawks have really struggled to produce offensively, so even if they can't convert here, who's to say the Hawks are really going to make them pay for it?
Absolutely. Yep, lining up strong again on the far side.
Running back a few steps behind Agnesi in the triangle formation, but now motion in the backfield. It looks like they're going to pitch it back, and they will. Buick, flea flicker, he throws it down the field, and it's caught! It's caught off the deflection, and it's a touchdown! Are you kidding me? What a play! I can't believe it!
Look at that. Headphones coming off from Coach Dredge.
Touchdown.
That's incredible. Rory Ferguson with the play of the game.
Look at that.
Looks like an interception by a mile, and it just is bobbled through the Hawks' hand, and he catches it, runs it another 15 yards, and there's nothing you can do.
Wow.
My God, what a play. And a flag comes out. That's going to be some trash talking after the play. Absolutely.
Oh,
likely to be enforced on the kickoff. Not going to affect this play unless, I mean, you never know. But talk about something remarkable. On a 4th and 15.
Wow. This should be going on ESPN Top 10 recap right
Absolutely.
Here. Like,
now, hold on. What's the call going to be?
Foul on sportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, misconduct.
I'm not sure if he pointed to Lunenburg or not. I don't know if he completed signaling the play.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't get a. I don't know if we got a complete call from it. It looks like the refs might still be discussing something.
Trying to figure things out.
It looks like the refs coming back out to make this call. So regardless of what happens here, I mean the touchdown stands. It's 17-0.
15-yard penalty.
Yeah, Lunenburg is going to have unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
I mean, one can guess trash talking.
Yeah.
And this will be moved way far back.
Yeah. That's intense. That's really intense. That play looked like it was drawn up like Scott Sterling.
I mean, that's that's ridiculous.
And now attempt the point after.
They're not going to have 2-point conversion, which is what they would have had otherwise. The penalty is going to force a bit of a long field goal here.
I think this might be the after point, right?
Yeah, extra point here. Extra point try, and it is good.
Wow.
What a kick from McKenna.
Very impressive. Boom. You don't see that often here.
I mean, this kid is killer, Tyler. I mean, Caden James shaking his head as he comes off the field. He just can't believe it. I don't think anyone here can. This is stuff that crushes a dynasty. It really does. Like, that kind of play, that's what you're seeing at the end of, the closest match you can think of.
Yeah.
The only thing is that Frontier has not really been able to convert offensively. That might just be the last nail in the coffin for the Hawks. 9.5 to go in the game. Plenty of time left, but they need to make something happen on this drive. That it's a must, an absolute must.
Yeah, and to be able to have the mental strength to go about that after that is certainly intense. I know that this team really does care about the mental side as much as the physical side, but it's really going to be a uphill battle from here on to see if they can pull this off. Absolutely.
And we could talk a little bit about the lack of passing plays that we've seen from the Hawks. Now, we know that they like the running game, and last season it really worked for them. They had a few options, and they had a strong offensive line. Now, I mean, they still have a decent offensive line. We haven't been able to see too much of it in action because we haven't seen a lot of these passing plays buying time for Dredge. But also, maybe there's a reason why we aren't seeing this. Javian Cabrera not here tonight after a dislocated left shoulder. I think that's all the reason that you need to not call passing plays unless you really need it, which is, the Hawks in a dire situation right now, down 18-0. At least try and get some points on the board,
Absolutely. They can't have this be a shutout for the first game.
Yeah, absolutely. Get some score, get the morale up a little bit, even if you don't end up winning the game, just something to keep the guys feeling good, have some hope for the season, And regardless, like we were saying, it's going to be a closer game than it was last season. McKenna drills it down the field. It will be caught at the 15. That's Garrett Dredge. He takes it to the near side, and he cuts back in. He's got a few blockers, and he's brought down at the 35.
Flag thrown early on, around
Jack
the
Smith
50.
on the stop.
About Colin West putting someone in the grass.
And, I mean, penalty doesn't look too good for the Hawks right now. We'll see what it is, but
it was likely on Colin West. It was
run
really
back,
early on.
Yeah, run back from Dredge looked pretty solid. It was a 20-yard run back.
Yeah,
good cut back
great.
inside.
Yeah.
I gotta say, special teams for the Hawks has been looking really good. We had an onside kick attempt, which was completely out of the blue.
Right.
That really caught me by surprise, and I think it was fantastic, beautifully placed, and just some bad luck there. But really, when you do an onside kick, what can you hope for other than luck? It was wonderfully executed, but this ball is gonna be placed a little bit farther back, 10-yard penalty. So the net progress of the run from Garrett Dredge is going to be only 10 yards. So, 15-yard penalty, excuse me, because he ran out to the 35. Now they're starting at the 20. So, only a 5-yard gain, actually. So, I mean, all the more reason why you need runners and runners on the special teams to be making big plays like that, so that if penalty happens like that, it doesn't affect you as much. So now, tight formation. Dredge calls for motion, and now the handoff is stopped cold.
On the carry.
Let's sandwich a little bit in the middle.
On the carry is Caden James.
Yeah, very strong stuff there. I don't know if everyone was on the same page there. It seemed like Garrett Dredge had to call everyone in.
Beardmore on the stop really for the Blue Knights. Loss of a yard.
Coming to the side, talking to the
Second
coach.
and 11.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a loss of a yard right there. So now they're on their own 19. And they're looking at 2nd and 11. It's their 5th possession of the game. And they have yet to come up with a score.
Receivers.
Maybe we'll be seeing a passing play. We also have fullback in position. Could be seeing the handoff here. And we do to Pareda.
Pareda on the carry.
Not Brady Pareda. That's Noah Pareda, excuse me, who I believe is his younger brother. He's a freshman. So a good little effort from him. He'll gain a yard back, and now we're looking, once again, 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 10 for the Hawks, back where they started this drive at the 20.
8 minutes left on the clock. It's now looking promising. However, they can get some points on the board. They just have to keep driving across.
Yeah, absolutely, Tyler.
Right.
And now they come out of the huddle. They've gotten used to the 3rd and long now, but haven't been able to convert much motion in the backfield. They'll pitch it back to Ben Karen, who won't be able to make much of it, and he didn't have any blockers anyway. Maybe a yard out of that. It'll be 4th and 8 by the looks of it.
Seemingly, that was a solid run, being able to get to the outside.
He did good with what he was given, and he wasn't given a lot.
Right.
You know.
Yep. I mean, again, they're down. Jamie Cabrera. It's hard to work that.
Very hard.
1st and 9 for the Red Hawks.
Still, though, they're being able to still have their range. You know,
Colin
not
West,
as
the
much
punt.
passing as they do already.
Colin Toomey back to receive for
all right, here
the
we
Blue
go.
Knights.
Got 2 spread out wide receivers on either side.
And now he's going to be punting it from the 9.
All right.
Gets it away. Beautiful punt. Look at this.
Wow.
And
Nice.
that is going to stay. Nope, not in bounds. Will go out of bounds
That's the
right
Lunenburg
at the
36-yard line
46,
with the
maybe
Blue Knights take over
47.
1st and 10.
And they'll mark it at the 47. 37. Yeah, you know, you're right. Excuse me.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, yep,
I
that's
mean,
a solid kick.
Another great long punt, like we were saying.
Right.
Wonderful special teams that we've seen tonight
Yeah.
from the Hawks. And, you know, unfortunately, the offense has not been quite up to par as their special teams.
Yeah.
Defense, I got to give them a lot of credit, Tyler. They have stood their ground, made some huge plays. They're the only defense that's caused a turnover in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lunenburg Blue Knights, they have stopped Frontier cold consistently on 5 offensive possessions, but they haven't like intercepted the ball, fumbled it, or anything. Handoff on the first play once again goes out to the far side and is brought down by a combination of Caden James and Logan Grinkovich.
Wow. Yeah, being able to be brought down pretty quickly, too.
Still gets a few yards out of it.
Yeah.
8 yards by the looks of it. And, I mean, we could talk about it, but it would just be the same thing we've been saying for the whole game. I mean, now comes the question of, you know, do you try and do anything drastic for these last few minutes?
Right.
Really try and make this big stop and, try something special, pull something out of the back of the playbook.
Yeah,
you know?
This is certainly a different game that we've been seeing in preseason, like against Northampton, shut them out 12-0, did really great against the other teams as well. And, yeah, it's intense.
A wide out on each side, but the handoff will be there for Lunenburg. Up the gut and a first down.
Stop right in the middle. Still being able to suffocate the runs in the
Brody
middle, go
Auguste
straight down the
carries
middle.
for a first down.
It's just once there's being holes created on either
Into
side, it's
Frontier
really hard to
territory
stop.
at the Red Hawk 49-yard line.
And now they're in Frontier territory. I mean, barely, but, you know. This is where Lunenburg is comfortable. They take their time. They, take so much time off of the clock. That is really the killer. And this has been, it's not a strategy that much anymore, noticeable strategy like in the NFL that we can talk about because there's no team to point to. But taking your time with these drives, you're confident you're going to score so you don't leave a lot of time on the clock for the other team to score back at you. And that's what Lunenburg is doing because they feel confident in themselves. Another handoff going to the far side. Auguste cuts back in, and a beautiful move.
Oh, wow.
He
Brody Auguste on a carry.
might be short of the first down, but I think he might have gotten it.
Might have also gotten somebody on the chain gang.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like he jumped out of the way in time.
Oh, thank God.
Another
All right.
Blue
Yeah,
Knight
I mean,
first down, first and
like you were
10.
saying, this Lunenburg team has really
From
been
the
doing
Hawk
the ground and
49-yard
pound.
line.
They just are very confident getting by. They can consistently run, get yards every time, and know it's not going to fail.
Yeah, I mean, and that will be a first down for the Blue Knights. This is just, because the difference when it comes to offense is the Blue Knights, they have a running play. They're able to create that seam in the line, and then they're able to just have Auguste, Gamboris, or Agnesi just run right through, pick up 8 to 15 yards, and they got a first down. Or close to it, and then they do it the next play. Now we got the same formation, probably a handoff again, and it will be. And he is stopped about 5 yards into his carry. Didn't catch who got the tackle there. But once again, Auguste on the carry and consistent as ever. It just goes to show, I mean, like, you have your running game perfected, and you don't have that big blocker in front of you. That's Javian Cabrera. That's going to shut you down like that and put pressure on the running game. Frontier was able to really put some work into it in that last drive, but that incredible touchdown, it's a buzzkill. Yeah. The morale is so down on this team right now. You can see it on the bench. You can see it out on the field, and you can tell because the Blue Knights are just marching down the field, Tyler.
Absolutely, Mason. They've been really covering a lot of field. And if you're the Frontiers defense here, it's really disappointing because it seems like no matter where you're covering, what you're doing, this doesn't work.
Yep. Running the exact same play again. He gets a big hole, and West with the tackle after around 10 yards.
Colin West
being able to still pound it in the middle.
Lunenburg first down.
Honestly, this defense has been doing the right things. They've been covering where they need to be. Like, we're not used necessarily to covering like a pass-first team. However, the run game has still not been being blocked all the time. They're stopping us in the direct middle, but there's trouble trying to figure all that out.
Exactly, and that's what we were saying about the morale earlier. It's a mental game. This big, I mean, that huge play could have been an interception. All you had to do was bat it down, and then it gets popped up running for the touchdown. I mean, that does so much mentally for the players out there. Absolutely. And now they're not playing as hard as they would otherwise. But now Connor James is in the mix, and he gets right there with Colin West, who brings down Nick Agnesi for a loss.
There we go. Colin West drops him for a loss.
Beautiful. Just under 2 minutes left in the game here.
Yeah, and I mean, hope fading for the Hawks. I mean, there's almost no way they can come back in this. Hopefully they can find a way to avoid a shutout with maybe a stoppage here and a turnover. We could see a forced fumble again, but we also want to mention, Javian Cabrera not in the game right now. Other notable member of the team that is not in the game is Brady Pareda. He had some kind of injury to his leg, it looks like, and he's currently standing on the sideline next to Jackson Spearance, who's out with a sprained ankle as well. Hopefully, and hopefully they'll be able to come back to the game next week. And big hit. Combo tackle right there, going to be shared between Connor James and Colin West.
Loss of 2, 3rd and 12.
Beautiful hit, getting right out of the way. Nice shock. It's really good to see that. Usually earlier on, that's more useful, being able to get him down.
Absolutely. And now we're looking at a long conversion here, 3rd and 13, I'd guess. Yep. This is, I mean, we say this might be a tough conversion, but it's Lunenburg we're talking about. I mean, this is just a walk in the park for them at this point. They've been here before against Frontier, and they know what they want to do, and they know what works. And, unfortunately, we're getting a lot of fans leaving the bleachers right now for the Hawks, and a timeout's going to be taken on the field. They'll take a quick break, and so will we. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. The teams are lining back up on the line of scrimmage, and it is a 3rd and long for the Blue Knights. They will take a knee with 30 seconds on the clock. They will not try and add insult to injury, and that looks to be the end of the game. They're going to let the clock run out. Tough loss to open things up for the Hawks. 18-0 loss against the Lunenburg Blue Knights. A closer game than last year, we might add, but as they do their team handshakes, what's been called the greatest tradition in sports, we will give a little moment to a player that really stood out in this game, and especially he stepped up. He stepped up in the wake of Cabrera's injury. Colin West, incredible punts on special teams, had a few great plays on offense. I mean, it was mostly Pareto that was getting the handoffs, but he touched the ball once or twice, I think. But the big thing is he showed up on defense when they needed it most. I think he got the most tackles today out of anyone on this team. And I mean, he left a big imprint on the field tonight, Tyler.
He really did. Really props to them. But also got to mention Caden James. Love his energy out there.
Absolutely.
The O-line and the D-line has been explosive even without their captain,
Yeah.
Cabrera. Everywhere all around has been really solid. Aaron Dredge, I'm still hopeful for him, even though not a great night tonight. It's still good to see.
We weren't able to. I don't think that we can really say much about Dredge as a quarterback right now.
Exactly.
We didn't really see any passing plays, and we're not expecting to see many passing plays in general from the Hawks. And so now the band's playing out the team, who is standing arm in arm at the edge of the field. Gotta say, it's a new tradition for me, but
absolutely
some good camaraderie, and I like it.
They've really been pushing forward these family values. Like, we win together, we lose together.
Absolutely. And you saw it. I think the first place that I saw it last year was with the girls basketball team. They still have that poster up there on the gym wall, and it says "Together." Because that's what it's all about. These guys played their guts out tonight, and I mean, what a buzzkill towards the end. But it was a tough game, and they made Lunenburg work for it, and that's the bottom line. I feel like
Really did. Yep, it was a very solid effort. Nobody there was slacking. It was really great.
Absolutely. A lot of sweat and tears put out on that field tonight, and we're likely to see some more again in not 1 but 2 weeks against Franklin Tech. Big rivalry. We're going to be there. Hopefully another very exciting end, just like last year. Maybe we'll see Caden James get another incredible catch on the near sideline. I've been Mason Smith. Final score was 18-0. Hawks take the tough loss. Tyler Wolkowitz joined me tonight on the mic. Kevin Murphy was here with us. Cole Melnick, Braden Repold, Connor Mabius, all the rest of the FCAT crew. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful night. You've been watching Frontier Community Access Television.